1.
Intermediate.
Liftoff of the Soyuz rocket transporting Mike Lopez Alegria, Mikhail Turin, and Anousheh Ansari to their microgravity home in space.
And liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
I moved to United States in 1984, so a long time. When we moved here from Iran, we came to Washington, D.C. area and spent a year finishing high school at Lake Braddock High School, and then went to George Mason University. I got accepted to the electrical engineering departments there to get my bachelor's degree, and then continued at George Washington University for my master's. In 1992, when my husband and I left our job at MCI, our full-time job at MCI, ironically, to avoid going to Texas, we ended up starting our own company, and our first set of projects was in consulting. And all of our clients actually ended up in the Dallas area. So we knew that in order to grow our company, we have to be where our clients are. So we ended up moving to Dallas, thinking it's temporary, but I've been living there since then. My long-term plan is to try to live a life of service, and I feel like I've been very fortunate, and I've been very blessed with a wonderful family, an amazing husband, and a community that's been very supportive, and all of that has helped me achieve in my life. So I hope to be able to give something back and to help others achieve their dreams and their goals in life. And specifically, I'm very passionate about youth and trying to create an environment, a platform where youth can get more involved in shaping their future. Today, a lot of the policies are made in the hands of adults, and a lot of them are not concerned about the long-term future. And I hope to be able to create an environment, a platform where we can get youth more engaged and involved and their voices heard. So that would be one of my long-term projects. I have had several people inspire me throughout my life. As a child growing up, I shouldn't say as a child, but as a young adult growing up, going to school, I was fascinated by Albert Einstein. Here it was, seemingly an ordinary person, sitting, someplace one day and thinking about the definition of time and trying to turn that on its head, completely changing our perception of something fundamental as time. And the fact that how could someone even dare to question that? How could someone even dare to change that perception? To me, that power has always been fascinating, and that's something that I carry with me all the time, and I talk to students about it, and that's the power of imagination and not accepting everything on the surface, not accepting things that we're told as absolute, and always questioning everything. Because when we question something and we try to understand it our own way, sometimes we come with new interpretation, new ways of looking at things, and those are the moments when the most amazing discoveries and inventions happen. And that's one thing that I really promote for young kids. Another person that I've always admired has been Mahatma Gandhi, and again, reading his life story and how without any planning ahead, he just did the right thing one step at a time and did it with his heart. That to me is a very inspirational and motivational story that helps me always keep my calm and try to see a path that even in the most difficult and challenging time. I always quote him, one of his most famous quotes that everyone talks about, and that's be the change you want to see in the world. And that's a motto I live by. So if I see a problem and something I don't like, I don't just complain about it. I try to do something about it. And if I'm not willing to do something about it, then I close my mouth and I don't complain about it. And the last person who's always inspired me is my husband. He's, from the moment I met him, he's supported me, he's taught me so many things. I have to thank him for the person I am today, and the courage I have, the confidence I have, all comes from his mentorships. I have a rule for myself: I never look back, and I have no regrets, because I really, when I look at my life, I see a lot of dots that have been connected in a very strange way that had allowed me to do great things in my life. And if I changed those dots, I don't know where I would end up. So it's hard for me to tell. I certainly learned a lot, that if I had this knowledge, perhaps I would take it easier going through the tough times. But I don't think I would necessarily change anything. Because I think even the mistakes I made taught me something that helped me some other place. So if I didn't have those lessons, maybe I wouldn't be able to accomplish what I accomplished. I've had this dream since I was a child to go to space, and for me, it was more than a dream. It was like, it was my destiny. I had to do it. I had no idea how I would do it. I had no idea if it would ever happen, but it never stopped me from talking about it and saying that I would do it. And I didn't care if people thought I'm a little nuts. But I think when you have a dream like this and you sort of nurture it, then there is something that happens, that the universe and the people and everything, all the events start coming together and helping you find your path. And to me, that was very important. And I was very fortunate that in 2006 I was able to fulfill that dream and fly to the International Space Station. And it was the most amazing, most wonderful thing that ever happened to me. The experience was out of this world. And it's really hard to put it into words, but it was a humbling and empowering experience at the same time. Humbling in a way that you do feel part of a much bigger universe, and you feel very small compared to that universe. But at the same time, when you look at Earth, it's so small that you feel like all those problems that seems insurmountable, they're very easy to fix. And it has helped me only look at things from a global perspective. I can't just limit it to the city I'm in or even the country I'm in. I have to look at it globally. And that sort of global view has become ingrained in my psyche, and it's part of me now. I think it has given me an inner peace that I'm very grateful for. During my trip to space, I had this unique opportunity to be interviewed by people from all over the world, and got a lot of publicity. And I wanted to make sure that I highlight my Iranian heritage, as well as my life in United States, because I felt that the combination has made me who I am, and I wanted to highlight that. I think a lot of the cultural aspects of my life in Iran, growing up in Iran, that whole environment, the friendships that exist there, the family ties, and a lot of things that I've learned in Iran are a big part of me and a big part of who I am. And the freedoms I've enjoyed in the United States, the opportunity that have been given to me in the United States, the education I received, the encouragements I received, all of those helped me accomplish what I've accomplished. So both are really, truly a big part of my life. So I wanted to highlight that, and that's why I wore both flags on my space suit in the space station. And I talked about both countries as being my country. And being in Russia and learning Russian, and the country who actually made my dream come true, they've joined to be also my country. At the end of the day, again, when you go to space, you realize that the borders we see on the maps are really man-made lines that we've drawn on a piece of paper, and they do not exist there. And all of this land, all of this planet belongs to all of us, and we're all inhabitants of this spaceship we can call Earth. I think about Iranian women, especially in Iran, all the time. We hear statistics about 70% of the population now are under age of 25, and that 60% of college graduates in Iran are women. And what I'm always amazed at, what they've been able to accomplish despite all the barriers and the challenges they face every day. So really my hat goes off to them. I believe that eventually they will succeed. I want them to know there are women like me, like many, many other women around the world, feeling their pains and their challenges. We are here to help them in any way possible. I've been fortunate to be a guest at 2 of the Iranian American Women Conferences, and I have to say it has been one of the most wonderful experiences for me speaking at an event like that. Very unique. I speak at a lot of conferences and entrepreneur conferences, women conferences, Iranian events, but I think the aspects of all these conferences coming together in this core group of Iranian American women coming together was wonderful. It was amazing for me to meet and see so many wonderful, amazing, accomplished Iranian women all come together and then so openly talk about where they are in their lives, their accomplishments, their challenges, their problems, teaching each other, and also seeing people from all different facets of life, different areas, different businesses, different age groups, all coming together and having something to share with each other. It was a very unique and wonderful experience. I hope many, many more women in US and all over the world, all Iranian women all over the world will be able to, to experience it and be part of it.